officials of His Majesty the King of the Netherlands, Willem-Alexander. He asked me to convey to you the best wishes to your country and your people.
Welcome. It happens that your arrival to Azerbaijan almost coincided with the war. Therefore, our meeting was postponed due to the objective circumstances. I was informed that you arrived almost 2 months ago, so I'm sure you understand why our meeting didn't take place earlier. But unfortunately, when our meeting was appointed, I got information that the Parliament of your country adopted a motion, anti-Azerbaijani motion, also anti-Turkish motion, providing the sanctions against Azerbaijan. I was informed by my assistant that during the discussions, the Foreign Minister of Netherlands advocated for a more balanced approach, so we appreciate that, but of course, the fact that the Parliament adopts such a unbalanced and I think unjust decision will not, of course, help us to establish closer ties. First of all, I'd like to say, taking into account the fact that yesterday this decision was adopted, that it was Armenia who attacked us. We were defending ourselves, and as a result of that, we managed to liberate territories which belong to us due to the norms and principles of international law and belong to us historically. Our fight was a fight for freedom, for liberation, and it ended with a great military success and also political success. And on November 10th, as you know, the trilateral statement was signed, which puts an end to war. Therefore, for me, it was very strange that after Armenia itself signed this declaration, which basically is a capitulation, such a decision was adopted in a country which is situated far away from our region. As you probably know, the regional countries supported this declaration. All our neighbors expressed support to this declaration. Two of our neighbors, Russia and Turkey, will be part of the operations which will provide security and safety for Azerbaijanis and Armenians. So I think that it is more just to be on our side rather than on some other side. And also probably you are informed about the comments of US State Department, which supports the ceasefire European Union. Therefore, I understand that parliamentarians, they have their own agenda. Sometimes they have their own preferences. It's understandable. And I understand that the government of your country has its own position, which may be different from what was adopted by the parliament, but it will be difficult to explain to our people why it happened. Therefore, I think that you will have to face this situation when people will ask you why Netherlands was the first country whose parliament adopts such a decision. From a practical point of view, it's definitely that it will not have any impact on the situation on the ground. Situation now is stabilizing. Our refugees and IDPs who waited for this day for almost 30 years are celebrating this great military and political victory, and they are looking forward to see the timetable for their return. But it will take time because aggressor destroyed almost everything. And these videos are shown on our TV. This devastation probably is a unique form of brutality vandalism, barbarism against our people, against our cultural, religious heritage, against humanity. And the way how Armenia behaved during the war also shows the unhuman attitude of their leadership, because attacking peaceful cities situated far away from the conflict zone by ballistic missiles from the territory of Armenia is a war crime. Using cluster bombs and phosphor bombs is a war crime. So all the international media testified that, and also international NGOs. So I regret that I have to start our conversation with that, but that was only due to the fact that our meeting was appointed 2 days ago, and the decision of your parliament was made later than that. Apart from that, what can I say? Once again, it will be not easy to explain it. It will also depend on the position of your government, of your foreign minister. We are expecting their comments on that, because my assistant told me that there have been comments during the discussion, but we expect comments now after this decision was made. Of course, we will be expecting the comments from European Commission. As you know, European Commission and Azerbaijan have a very broad agenda of cooperation, and 2 years ago we initiated the partnership priorities document in Brussels, which fully supports sovereignty, territorial integrity, and inviolability of international borders of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan was fighting on its own territory, was restoring its own territorial integrity, and it is in line with UN Security Council resolutions, with document which was initialed by EU and Azerbaijan. I wish you a pleasant time. I hope that this not very pleasant page in our history will not seriously damage our relations, but of course it will depend on the further steps of your government and our government, which will act in a corresponding way. So welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As you mentioned, I arrived here on the 20th of September, 1 week before the conflict started again. So this was a very hectic period, but also a time that allowed me to understand very well what the sources of the conflict were. And that's something that I have liaised very closely with my capital as well. And as you mentioned, the position of my government is very balanced. And that's something that I value greatly, and that has also been the result of analysis, discussions, and good dialogue. So I'd like to stress that again, that the position of my government is very much in line with that of the EU, and it's very balanced. So we have followed the conflict, we've seen what happened, and we are always very concerned with what the conflict caused, but on both sides. So in our system, there's a difference. The government has a position, the parliament has a position, and that requires dialogue. That dialogue took place on several occasions, in which we also noted that the balanced position of the government was not always the same position as the parliament. In the recent discussion last week with the minister, between parliament and minister, these questions were also raised. And the minister, both in writing and orally, has consistently said that these things that are raised are not according to the position of my government. So sanctions and all that are absolutely not on the cards right now. It's irrelevant. There can't be any question of a discussion about that. So that's something that my minister has said very clearly in parliament, but also in writing. So I'm happy I can repeat that again here.
Prezident İlham Əliyev Niderland kralı Willem Alexander'ın salamlarına görə minnətdarlığını bildirdi. Onun da salamlarını Niderlandın kralına çatdırmağı xahiş etdi.